Alexis Anaya, and now to my informative speech. So, who is this man? We see three pictures of a man that, who is he? Well, this is Cesar Chavez. He's a famous civil rights activist. Well, was a civil rights activist. His name is Cesar Chavez. So today, my three main topics will be how Cesar Chavez impacted immigrants here in the United States, the struggles he faced here in the United States, along with his family, and some background story of Cesar Chavez. So now I'm going into depth with my first point, which is how he impacted immigrants here in the United States. So, he inspired other farmers to stand up for themselves. He was one of the first leaders to really stand up and take initiative. He did that because farm workers during the 1900s were very poorly treated. So he was one of the people that stood up for them. Chavez was one of the biggest leaders. We see that because he led marches, pickets, and boycotts. He was a co-founder of the UFW, which is one of the groups that he formed along with two other people, which is Dolores Huerta and another guy. What the UFW stands for is the United Farm Workers of the United States. The other founders, like I said, are Dolores Huerta and Philip Cruz. What the UFW was a labor union for farm workers in the U.S. It was made in 1962. So after hearing what impact he made here in the U.S. towards immigrants and other Latinos here that were farm workers during the 1900s, now we'll be talking about the struggles that he faced along with his family. His family lost a farm and a store. We're not sure what kind of store he owned, but they unfortunately lost their farm and store. He was an underpaid farm worker that had to survive with being underpaid, and he just adapted to the situation and was able to get through all that. He also asked for help from the CSO, which is a civil society organization that is nonprofit. They usually help corporations that were trying to stand up for civil rights. Now, onto some background of Cesar Chavez after hearing some of the struggles that he had to face. So, Cesar Chavez was born in Yuma, Arizona, March 31st of 1927. Um, his purpose was to bring attention to the poor treatment farm workers were getting, which was one of the main points he was trying to get across by being a co-founder of the UFW. He was a labor leader that led marches, called for boycotts, and even went on several hunger strikes. He supported the California Agricultural Labor Foundation Act. He was a big supporter of this because this helped minimize how badly treated farm workers were getting. And this was a promise to farm workers saying that they will prevent and do as much as possible to prevent that treatment that they were going through in that time. Now to conclude. Here we see a flag of the UFW, which is he was the co-founder of that group. And here we see when he passed away and another picket that they're having with the UFW. So in conclusion, I truly respect Cesar Chavez even though I did not meet him because he really inspired people, not just from our race, but other Latinos that were farm workers to stand up for themselves. And because of that, Latinos are where we are today because of him. He was one of the start. He was the start to that. And even though so many obstacles were put onto him, he was able to surpass that while being a Mexican American here in the U.S. at that time was very hard and he was able to get past that and even anything else they threw on top of him. So today I talked about the impact he made here in the U.S. towards immigrants and other Latinos that were farm workers in the 1900s, the struggles him and his family went through while being a civil rights activist himself, and I gave you some background on Cesar Chavez's life. Thank you, and have a great day.